Yo, what up, everybody? It's the Kash Show, Zero Boy Productions, Don Cook Media, and today it's time to introduce y'all to my next guest, Mad Moody. Tell them about yourself, Mad Moody.
Oh man, appreciate you having me on the show, man. Appreciate you, man. You and Zero Boys, man. It's your boy Mad Moody, Watts veteran, straight out of the Nixon Garden Projects, born and raised. I'm just another made nothing out of some story, bro.
All right.
I done played a little college football. I've been doing music for a while. I've been putting stepping my foot in the acting lately, and and I made a living off bodyguarding.
Right.
Took me across the world, bro. Out
All
of
right.
Watts to as far as Africa.
How did you get into music?
Man, I just always been connected with music, man. I remember Mom signing me up for talent shows and all that, like back in the day as a kid, being a part of like elementary school and doing plays and little stuff like that. But I started taking the music serious towards like late in high school. I was blessed to go to school with Centennial with Kendrick Lamar, so
Dope.
being a part of them lunchtime ciphers, you feel me, like started to give me a little itch. I'll do a little two little bars to get a little laugh here and there, but once I got kicked out and went to Maxine Waters, I spent a lot of time, with our big bro J-Rock. So,
Right.
J-Rock had the same thing going. Like, instead of us doing work, we write 16s in the class, and we spending our lunch period like who got the best 16. And if we got a song, we running across the street to WLCAC recording. WLCAC had a recording studio right across the street from Maxine Waters, so it was like we writing raps in class, we freestyling, we doing all that, and running right across the street, WLCAC record shit. So
Dope.
that's kind of like, that gave me my itch.
Like actually getting in the studio, what was that experience like?
Wow. I think the first song I recorded was off Fat Joe and Remy Ma Lean Back.
That's
We was
crazy.
on some hood shit. Me, J-Rock, and a couple of more of my relatives. We all that was just the hottest thing at the time. So we got that beat, made a little hood anthem, and it really got some buzz, and it was dope. But that was the first song I made. But just learning how to record or hearing myself in a booth, the way I rap and the way I talk, is different tones. I believe
Right,
sometimes.
that's dope.
So it was just dope finding myself and learning myself and hearing my voice and then put my creativity with it. I felt like I didn't know if I was a good writer or a thinker, but we always joke. We grew up joking,
You feel it?
bagging on each other. So it wasn't that hard for me to put words together. I felt like, and, I found out I'm pretty damn good at it. Shit.
Right.
They asked me.
How did you get to the point where you say, I'm gonna go from rapping to doing bodyguard work?
Making music, not just rapping, songwriting for other people, man. Just doing music in general, singing, rapping, harmonizing, building artists up. I found out, that's just something that's in me. I love, I have a passion for. Me, man, I'm what everybody's saying, 6'7", you feel me? So I'm about 6'6", 6'7", so growing up in the projects, we always, we had to test our knockout. We had to, every time you step off the porch, you have to, somebody asking you where you from, or you feel me, or who is you, or whatever the case might be. So, growing up, you had to, iron sharpen iron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, we
Chin
had to,
sharp and fist.
hello, you already know, man. We got some scars.
Yeah.
Scars on these knuckles, but for sure.
You mind sharing some of the people that you probably did bodyguard work for and what those experiences were like?
So, like just me using my height, I got in trouble a few times, and I'm like, I need to do something. Like, I ain't stick to the football stuff. I, let the street situations get to me and wasn't focused how I was supposed to. So I felt like, instead of, if I can't do what I want to do on the field or on the basketball court, then I need to do something that utilize, what best fits me. And, after I got in trouble and thank God, fought the case, beat it, and was able to, live my life without a felony, you know, at that time, because that's what I was facing. You know what I mean? I beat the case, stayed out of trouble for a year, and then I went ahead and signed up for some training, like with some army dudes and all that type of
That's
stuff,
dope.
like weapons of mass destruction training, like hand-to-hand combat, pepper spray, all that type of stuff. Man, I got the full treatment, and it was like, you know, well, I ain't. While I got the opportunity, let me get my gun license. I ain't never knew about this life. I never knew a person from the projects could just get a gun license. You feel me?
Right.
Real talk. So once I went through the process, man, thank God I've been able to keep it all these years. It's been dope, bro. It's been like I said, it just opened doors. Like I had the height, I had the mentality. I know how to talk to people. It's not just about being aggressive. It's about having customer service. So it's been able to get me through a lot of doors, bro. Just knowing when to be aggressive, when to be, you know, understanding, and when to be, you know, a protector.
Right.
And I was able to like get one of my first big breaks, like working in Hollywood, in some clubs and stuff. You feel me? And people like Zach Randolph came in and all that type stuff. Happened to have a few people that, you know, I recognized, like, oh yeah, this family, like, oh yeah, get y'all in, make sure they was good. Like word got to word, it was like an all-star game. I was able to like do stuff for like, I want to say Derrick Rose,
That's dope.
James Harden, um, Kenyon Martin. It was a few people that just, you know, one thing led to another. But I felt like my biggest break was when I got with the Harvey family, Steve Harvey, his wife, and of course
Lori.
his daughter, Lori Harvey. Lori had me traveling the world, bro.
That's
Man.
dope.
Um, After that, you know what I mean. They moved off the West Coast towards, you know, the other side of the country, and I end up, one of the guys who gave me the assignment ended up like, hey, I have to go with the family on this side. I want to hook you up with my boy, Memphis to pay. I'm like, you know, I never, you know, I'm like, Memphis to pay, like, I sound like a rapper. But it ended up being, I did my research, looked up, bro. No, he introduced me to bro. Like we had a conversation. He like, yeah, I want to introduce you to Moody, man. Moody been doing solid work for me and the family. I know you need somebody while you out here. You know, let's make that happen. I want to, you know, get you guys on the conversation to see if y'all vibe. And from there, you know, it was like a brother aspect with Memphis. You know, learning his story, um, seeing that he came from, you know, Ghana as a young age, you know, moved to Netherlands, you know, he don't know nobody, speak the language, um, and grow up to be a soccer player, bro, one of the best soccer players in the world, bro. I got to go to Europe, I got to go to France. He's from the Netherlands. I went to the Netherlands, all around the Netherlands, bro. Got to meet his mom, family. I'm like, dang, like, I never, man, I ain't got on a plane until my son was born. I never thought I was gonna get on a plane. Not to, you know, not to think that I'd be going way to freaking Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
Real talk. So, bro, just really opened a different door for me. Like, you know what I mean? And I had to really step my game up because I didn't speak the language and I didn't really know nobody. So I was on high alert. Like, you know, I don't know, bro, but I know he a big factor. And, you know, after getting to knowing him and knowing who he is and seeing this struggle, I found out, you know, he one of the biggest stars, like I said, in all of soccer. He just broke the record for two different things, for assists and goals for the Netherlands. Bro, like, I'm like, wait, what? I meet people like Ronaldo. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, I like sports. I'm a sports dude. I watch all sports. So I'm meeting like basketball players. I done work with the who's from Little Kim to Nicki Minaj to the Bad Girls Club and Baddies and all that type of
Dope.
TV stuff, bro. I'd have been around a lot of people, man. My boy Rockstar, boxers. I done walked out boxers, bro. I done did music with a lot of these people as well, too, bro. So just being a humble and genuine person, but also providing, you know, a service and being serious about my job, it opened a lot of doors for me.
That's pretty dope. I'm hearing that you involved in a little community work too, right? You working on a community project at the moment?
Yeah, bro. So right now, I'm working with this great group of people called Artfully United. It's basically another artist out of Watts, Mike Norris, and
Very familiar.
some of my great friends from the state of Maine, Chris Walters, Dave Benner, Chris Walters Productions. We trying to bring positivity back into the city and to the youth, and we are doing that by using art to unite people. Different cultures, different backgrounds, whether you're rich or poor, art is something that we can all communicate with.
Right.
Whether it's visual art, whether it's like the sonic art using our voice, how we do, with the music and stuff, or whether it's, any type of aspect of art. So my boy Mike, he paint murals around the city, but not just any part of the city. He go inside the hood.
Yeah.
He go in every hood, whether they beefing, Bloods, Crips, essays. We go in that neighborhood. We talking to the community leaders, and some come to us, and then some go to Mike has connections as well around the city, and they got behind the projects and what he doing and start coming out and really like supporting us. So he goes into the inner city and paints gigantic murals of things like hope, have faith, love. We all are one. He looks around the neighborhood, spend days and talking to people and stuff, and then we see what this neighborhood need. We ask the stories, what happened on this block? What happened at this store? Like, why you want a mural right here? People done been shot, stabbed, killed, robbed.
The one over there for Century say be brave or
On Century, yeah, he got, yep. So it's been a blessing to go around to these different communities, get love, help with the youth. Not only the youth, but the elders, people our age, and the people that can actually invest in the city. So we going around, spreading hope, spreading love, spreading good energy.
Yeah.
And the places that we doing it at is places where
They need it.
It's very needed, bro. And the crime rate has been going down.
Right.
The respect factor is deep. People don't understand, like, if you go to these community leaders or you go to these people that live in these neighborhoods and you talk to them and let them know what you're doing and the meaning behind this and what we got going on, the bigger picture, people starting to really accept that. People will be understand that.
Right. The more people that care, the more things will change, bro.
That's in LA, the land of vandalism,
Yeah.
banger,
Graffiti, yeah.
So it's dope that we get to do something that everybody
Can respect and love.
Yeah, they already used to.
And be influenced by.
That's dope. I love it, bro.
You could just be driving by and you can be like, man, I don't want to do that.
What?
And then you just look up and you see be brave on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta do it now that I see now. I gotta be brave. You feel me? I gotta have some heart. Yeah.
And that's like another thing, like this type thing like that. What I look like trying to do a drive-by or shooting somebody or somebody, harming somebody in front of a big old giant wall that say love.
Right.
Or respect each other. Or, we are one. I didn't grow up like that. I thought my community was my whole world. But no, the world is bigger than my community.
Yeah.
And I need to spread the love.
It's a bigger picture.
That part.
Everything is kind of like, you have these bite-sized moments and then you got huge moments, right? You can say every moment matters, but like it's really those huge-sized moments that matter. I'm not saying like when people do small favors, those aren't huge moments. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying the moments that you can like say, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
I respect that. Or you can bookmark it basically.
Yeah.
That's a good moment. That's how you got to continue like the growth of whatever you do.
Yeah.
But those stories is what matter. You feel me?
Yeah.
And when you tell your story, or you able to tell your story, you gotta give the people a good story. And I ain't saying a made up story that good. I ain't saying you gotta be like, yeah. And then I grew wings and flew off into the
And we ain't had to because the place that we grew up, man,
it's good enough of a story. What do you think the difference is between the era we were growing up in and now?
Every 5 to 10 years, I think a lot of things change, but at the same time, it still remain the same too. I'm pretty sure the youngsters these days, they go through the same thing. Shootouts, you know what I mean? I felt like in my era, we fought first.
Yeah.
It was iron sharpen iron.
Yeah.
You feel me? It was like, we gonna see who you feel me, man to man.
Yeah.
You know, you go back to your family, I go back to mine. Even at school. School, you know, same with we make sure we all go home together. We
Yeah.
walk together, we going home together.
Even if we gotta stop, get down for a minute.
Whatever, we going home together.
Yeah.
You feel me? That was the end of the discussion.
Yeah.
It wasn't no, if you can't, we ain't all got enough money or we can't all sneak on the bus, we gonna take this dangerous ass trip home.
Yeah.
Like, it was a more unity, I felt like. Whether you grew up in my house and all that, we from the same community, bro.
Right.
You feel me? I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna do the best of my power to make sure we go home. Whether we on bullshit or not. Because sometimes shit happens or things came our way and we have to do what we have to do to make sure we get home straight too. At the end of the day, I feel like the brotherhood, the camaraderie, and the opportunities. We had things like the Worksource Center, Community Service Center, LA City Camp,
Mr. Moreland.
Mr. Moreland, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, you know. We had after school programs. They got summer night lights and all that, but I feel like it's not that many opportunities. And then as you get older, it's starting to get even lesser opportunities. And then when you grow up in a community or an era where the crack epidemic was the major resource of taking care of your family, and that's what we were taught, it's kind of hard to usher in something new or a different era. So I feel like the struggles that we went through as a kid, you know, similar but different than the struggles these kids. These kids got a lot of their own struggles. I feel like these kids are growing up a little bit faster. You know, like teenagers are making grown-up decisions at a faster rate. Not to say it wasn't happening in our day. People had kids. People went to jail. People done lost their life at a young age. Real talk. So I feel like, you know, same shit, different day.
Right.
Kind of, but at the same time, I want to be the change. I knew what I didn't have compared to what I can do or what I want to do, and it's just a day and night thought process with me now. So now instead of like judging this new era or anything like that, I work with them. I help them. I communicate with them. I talk with them because it's not too many positive role models. As I could think of back in the day, that's what we have some in common. It wasn't that many positive role models back in the day too.
Right.
You might have one or two in a few, somebody on TV you see, but like on an everyday basis, it wasn't that many. So you gravitate towards the ones you do have, whether they took care of their family, honest man, a hard-working man, a regular 9 to 5. I done work with people who do any and everything, and you know, I know how to be professional and respectful, and that's what I feel like ain't nobody teaching this youth these days. They don't know how to conduct themselves in certain situations. We have anger issues, bro, as men that we don't really talk about or we can't expose or express ourselves because everybody think it's a joke or you think they can't relate to you.
There's the balance in life. Like you got this thing where everything isn't just everybody evil and everybody hate. That's just the way you think and what you focus on, and that protects you. It do protect you. It's a paranoia, but like at the same time, it's like you need those things, but you need to balance it out with the fact that like the world ain't really like that.
You need an outlet. You need a real.
You need to know how to identify.
Yeah, reality check. I call it. You know what I mean? Because you have to make the world bend or break for you. It ain't gonna just bend. It break people daily. You know, we all struggling. You feel me? Real talk. But God just, you know, God really put His hands on me. He really opened the doors for me. You know what I mean? I just applied myself.
Right.
If you don't try, you ain't gonna know what's gonna happen. If you don't put yourself in these situations or these uncomfortable moments, you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Real talk. And I felt like growing up where I grew up was one of the hardest places to grow up, bro, in the world. So if I can make it here, I should be okay in the world.
All right, so what advice do you have for like anybody that's like looking to like just do community work or might want to get into bodyguard work? Like,
I ain't gonna lie, it has its blessed, great moments. I have memories that I could, you know,
cherish.
Really could cherish. I have things that I've done that I never thought I could do. So I would never tell nobody not to chase their dreams, but also, if you know you really want to go this bodyguard is very different from security. It ain't all peaches and cream. I might make it seem cool and easy or whatever
You
the case
figured it
might
out.
be, but this is years of struggling. This is years of not getting some consistent, contracts or jobs. This has been years of still being consistent at work, being having integrity, being professional, showing, not only that this ain't a job, but if I'm putting my life on the line for you, you gotta have some type of respect or some type of, understanding that, like I understand that this guy's putting his life on the line for me and is willing to risk his life to keep my life safe. I appreciate you. It's no real dollar sign that can
Yeah.
really,
You can't pay for
you can't pay
appreciation.
for that appreciation, and you can't pay for somebody putting their life on the line for you. You feel me? This is dangerous.
Right.
You feel me? It's very dangerous, but a lot of us choose not to go to school. If you don't go to school, then get you a trade or something.
Right. The trade, I tell people this all the time. If you go get a trade compared to 4 years of college, you got better chances of using that trade to do something with than you got going 4 years of college for something that you might not even get a job or a field in.
Yeah.
But if you learn that trade, now you can use that trade it's like learning how to cook or chef. Like how you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
whatever you want to do with that trade after you learn it, you can do it. Doing a job based on if you got the talent or not, then that's just waiting on somebody to hire you. But you can get out there and busy with the trade, with the skill. You know what I'm saying? So if I go to learn how to cook, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
Put it in my head, I already know everything and I'm gonna get busy.
the
Skill
mindset
sets is
to
what
do it.
makes you greater. Learning,
Yep.
educating yourself, getting knowledge, bro. Seeking knowledge, that's what's gonna take you all the way there.
Yeah. And start being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
That too.
It was a point of time where I ain't have no vehicle, I ain't have no stable job, and I had to suck it up, bro. I had to figure it out. You feel me? Moms didn't have it, and I was, getting of age where I needed to figure something out. And I had to step outside my comfort zone, bro. I had to do what I had to do to
Yeah.
work and save up some money, get a job, and then buy me a car, bro.
It's crazy.
Taught myself how to drive. Got my license because they took my car away. I'm just learning how to drive. I'm joyriding. I'm like, why am I making a $500 issue, a $3,000 issue? You know what
Right.
I mean? Where I could just do it right. So don't cut corners. If I could give some advice, don't cut corners. Do what you're supposed to do the right time the first time, so you don't have to do it again the second time or third time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I done hit my head. I'm still learning. I hit my head a lot of times. You know
So,
what I mean?
so for people who want to follow you on your journey, where would they find you at?
You can find me. I got all the little social media platforms at Mad Moody Music. MADMOODYMUSIC. Yes, I can spell. But just Instagram, Facebook. But I'm more of an in-person person. I'm not really too much into the social media unless we got something going on or we just having fun. But you can
What can they?
DM me, you can email me,
Got you.
madmoodymusic@gmail.com. And yeah, bro. And I'm out here in these streets.
Right.
I could be in the city, state, country,
All right.
near you.
Appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, bro.
You
I
already know.
salute you. Salute Zero Boys. Man, I'm proud of y'all, man. I'm glad for y'all having me on here, man.
Thanks.
It's gonna be the end, man.
Yeah.
Salute.
That's the Kash Show, Zero Boy Productions, Don Cook Media, and
Man, Moody.
we out of here.